I'm James Haney, your host. We're talking to Mr. JGilliam and Mr. Granville Lyons. Mr. Gilliam is the Director of Public Relations at the Kiwala Adolescent Center, and Mr. Lyons is the Administrative Assistant to the Metro Sheriff Department. And Mr. Lyons, to open up this segment of the program, let's start with a discussion of the overcrowded situation in the Metro Jail. I think we see almost daily articles in the newspaper speaking to that issue, and I'd like for you to say something about that.
Yes, as the judge said earlier, the Judge Sentencing Act, I believe that better police work, also with the implementation of the citizens being able to get in touch with the police and being able to tell them their information on the crime in a secretive way, and just better overall police work has caused most of our overcrowded situation, along with the court order by Judge Higgins to allow the state to allow us to keep their inmates until they alleviate their overcrowded condition. So it's really a backlog, and it's a very imposing crunch upon us, something that we were not prepared for, but something that yet still we have to deal with. We're working with it, and we're hoping that we can ease it in some form or fashion, but there's a tremendous amount of stress upon the people that we have working with for us, and also the amount of stress that the people that are incarcerated, because they're right on top of each other. It's like being in a house with a whole lot of people.
And that creates problems.
That creates tensions and problems. And I think we've handled it well up until this point. But you're sitting on a pile of kids.
Well, exactly how overcrowded are you in the system?
Well, we're probably housing more than 300 people, more than we're really capable of housing.
Well, Joe, considering the fact that you're working with an adolescent center, what is the purpose of this center that you're working with? You're the public relations person there.
The purpose of we provide special counseling service, individualized counseling services for adolescents and also their families. I think one of the unique things about the Koala Adolescent Center is our family program that the parents go through for a 5 to 7 day period. And we also have another part of our program called codependency. That's been a new implementation in our therapy there, and it kind of helps the parents and the kids after they've been in treatment, sort of like a follow-up and aftercare.
And so I think with the two of you, we have a real problem in terms, we can identify our problem in terms of problems with adolescents that we've talked about earlier, and we're talking about problems with our overcrowded prison conditions. Now, let's look beyond that and talk about some of the possibilities in terms of finding a solution to deal with this. How do you, Mr. Lyons, see the solution of the high increase of crime among black youth, the high incarcerated population? What do you see as a solution to this?
I see that we have to go back to strong family situations. I think we have to do preventative measures to stop people from coming to jail or being addicted to drugs or alcohol. I think society has begun to breed criminals by the means of forcing both family parents to work, where back some while ago, when the mother stayed at home and the father worked, and there was a closer knit family situation, the mother could keep a very close eye on the kids, and they were nourished. They didn't have a whole lot of idle time. See, our kids have too much idle time, and we put way too much responsibility on them. And we do that because we want them to have things better than what we had. So in order to have that, we have to go out and work those jobs, those extra jobs, and both parents have to work. So we are breeding, society is breeding, and putting the pressure upon the parents to want better things and better things for their kids, but actually we need to spend that valuable amount of time when they're growing up. So by the time they reach age 16, 17, 18, and 19 years old, it's almost too late, You know, you talk about rehabilitation. Rehabilitation to me and to my boss, and we talked about it, is a state of mind, not a matter of time. It depends on what that person, how that person wants to view life. Because during those formative years, if that person don't get it then, it's going to almost be too late. That's the reason why we have so many black youngsters incarcerated in our jails and penitentiaries, and the reason why we have so many addicted to drugs and alcohol. That's the reason.
Joe, do you agree with essentially what he said?
I agree.
Would you like to?
I definitely agree with Sonny. As the Y in our society is definitely breeding, we are breeding criminals. I think that one of the solutions, or a solution to the problem, I believe in starting at the family, like Sonny said, and to reestablish those older PTA and PTO attitudes and values where, again, as Sonny said, when there was a single parent working, and I mean there was a parent working and the mother was home, the father was working, that they tended to have more of a communication base. When Sonny and I came up, certainly if something was to happen in school before the school day was over, your parents knew about it and you might get 2 whippings, one there at school and one when you got home. Now, not the hitting aspect of it isn't.
It's the discipline.
It's the discipline, period. And I think more than anything else, it's for parents and teachers, I believe, must set up a line of communication or reopen the line of communication and kind of bury the hatchet, the axe, with teachers being afraid of litigation and parents wanting to blame the teachers. I think if they can just set those things down with the kids' common interests being their common bond, the kids' interests, the students' interests being their common bond, and kind of cross-compare their notes. 8 hours during the day, the kid's away from home. The other time, the kid's at school. And a lot of times, the kid acts one way at school and another way at home. And it would really take a great effort for teachers and parents to do this. But I think if they can communicate more than they have been and kind of cross-compare their notes about the kid and really keep tabs on him, who his peers are, how he's doing in school, what does he do at home, how does he spend that idle time, and really cross and compare notes and to stay in contact with each other, that it can kind of curb or maybe nip in the bud some problems before they get started.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to have to take a break here, and we're going to be back after this break and talk about some other aspects of this topic.